Hi, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to this week's edition of Auto Conversion on Air. Today is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Ryan Gerardi, and I'm broadcasting to you live from the Media Center here at the Chicago Auto Show. So shouts out to the folks at the Chicago Automobile Trade Association, the CATA, for granting me space here in the Media Center to do this. I was not able to attend the media days last week due to my schedule and to weather, so I'm here both for the digital dealer workshop. This is day number 2 of that workshop, and then also was able to hit the auto show for a little bit too. So go to autoconverse.com for some information just to see what I have going on there. Today we are featuring special guest Aaron Krane, CEO of Drive Motors. He has some car sales predictions to share with us leading into President's Day weekend. And so just a couple of moments, I am going to bring Aaron on and we'll get started with that interview. But to kick things off, big news this morning, Cars.com announcing that it will be acquiring Dealer Inspire and Launch Digital Marketing. 2 different companies, but both run by the same company, if you will. So this news, huge news, it's all over the place. First thing I saw when I woke up this morning, hits close to home for me personally on many fronts. For starters, Launch Digital Media and Dealer Inspire are based here in Naperville, which is where I live. And I have a professional relationships both with Joe Chura, CEO, Jason Stum, and a few of the other folks there, and also close with the Cars.com crew. So, hey, congratulations to all parties on this big news. The deal strengthens Cars.com on several fronts, and what I'm going to do is reference some information off of the Banks report. So shouts out to Cliff, who's always got some of the deepest analysis here. So I'll read to you in verbatim. Key point for Dealer Inspire's current customers is the deal is not an integration play for Cars.com. And I'm going to interject with that because so often when we see mergers and acquisitions in our industry, it is spun as if there's some integration play, and there really seldom is. So I appreciate that they're coming out saying it's not an integration play. Dealers can expect the innovative and nimble culture characteristic of Dealer Inspire to continue. And in an interview with TBR regarding the deal, TBR Autovate, President and CEO of Cars.com, Alex Vetter, reiterated what he told attendees last year. He's interested in acquisitions based on back-end integration opportunities. I should clarify, he's not interested in that. Instead, looking for companies in which Cars.com can partner with and help unleash their sales potential by creating new solutions and leveraging its strong sales force, mainly acting as a strategic and a financial partner. So, as part of the deal, the management team is staying in place with Joe Chura, continuing as CEO. Greg McGivney over at Cars.com, longtime Vice President of Strategy and Business Development. He will become Dealer Inspire's Chief Operating Officer. And then Darren Haygood, who just recently moved over to Cars.com from the acquisition, once Transparency AI was acquired by Semcasting. He recently joined Cars.com, and he'll join Dealer Inspire as Chief Revenue Officer. So, acquisition, also intriguing industry play because it could lead to the emergence of a third-party player in the digital advertising and website arena to compete with the 2 companies that have dominated the space for years, which would be CDK and Cox. So with its 20,000 dealership customers, along with its strong OEM relationships, Cars.com becomes an immediate, credible competitor. So check out the Banks report for more information on that. And big news, love to hear your comments and your thoughts on that. Why don't we segue, Aaron? I'm going to get ready to bring you on in just a minute, if I could. So Aaron is coming in with some predictions that online car orders, and let me quote, online car orders will increase 50% during President's Day weekend this year, especially as dealers offer holiday incentives and more customers learn about the ease and convenience of online checkout for cars. Many folks refer to this as digital retailing. Aaron will use the term online checkout. February is a unique time for dealers. The popular car buying Christmas season is long past, and then Memorial Day is still several months away. So President's Day, which is February 19th, is the only big shopping holiday between late December and Memorial Day. So the auto industry is capitalizing on it, especially after competing with all the other retail industries for consumer attention. So why don't you fill us in? What are your predictions? I kind of read it off, but why don't we hear it in your own words?
Great. I predict that over the President's Day weekend and holiday, dealerships that are using any type of functioning online checkout solution are going to see anywhere from a 25 to a 50% spike in online traffic, which is going to lead to a 25 to 50% spike in online orders. I also think they're going to see about double the conversion rate of their traffic to orders that they normally would. And this is attributed to both the increase in traffic, but also the aggressive discounting that we are observing as a holiday promotion.
And you say the increase in traffic, where's that increase coming from? Is it advertising? Is it natural? Is it organic?
It's all of the above. First and foremost, we always see increases in buying traffic during holidays when people have more free time. We even see spikes in traffic every evening when people simply get off of work. This is then multiplied by the additional conversion generated from even lower prices. We are seeing dealers drop their pricing for President's Day holiday promotions, and that's what's going to lead to the increased conversion of the natural increase of holiday traffic.
And are you expecting the increase to be higher this year than in previous years?
Yeah, I think that as more and more dealerships adopt online checkout or their own flavor of e-commerce, the general buying awareness is going to increase. Furthermore, every year we see dealers get more and more savvy with their marketing promotion of online checkout. And that, of course, is very critical to both getting the word out and differentiating them from the dealer up the street that still hasn't gotten on board yet.
Mm-hmm. So speak to the data, these numbers. Where are these numbers coming from?
Well, they're extrapolations of the data we saw last year, on which for President's Day 2016, we saw about a 40% spike in online order volume. And over the general weekend, we saw a 20% lift in overall online orders and online traffic. So we're bumping that prediction up from our observation last year on account of having more dealers and also on account of us giving dealers more marketing coaching and materials.
Okay, so you're going to see the bump, more traffic, more awareness. Timing has a lot to do with it as well. And so what can dealers do with this? What can they do to be proactive and make the most of the opportunity at hand?
Great. Well, before I say what, here's why. We had some dealers sell 4 or 5 cars every single day simply through online checkout for the duration of President's Day weekend. That's pretty phenomenal. That can be a dealer. That's as much as we see dealerships often sell across multiple weeks, not a single weekend. Mm-hmm. So that's the payoff. That's the why you're going to do it. And the how is pretty straightforward. First and foremost, let buyers have an online checkout experience so they can, to use a phrase we enjoy, couch their own deals at home in their comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And moving one step up the funnel, make sure the price tag is reasonable. Add an extra discount for the holiday weekend, which will increase that sense of buying urgency and drive up the overall conversion. And then once you've set the bottom and the middle of the funnel in place, go up to the top of the funnel, which is your marketing plan, and get the word out. And I don't mean get the word out by saying it's President's Day and linking to your dealer homepage. I mean get the word out by saying it's President's Day, we've added a discount, you can buy this from your couch in your pajamas this second, and link to actual search results pages. This is what we are teaching dealerships and helping them orchestrate for this year. And this is one of the reasons that I would predict even bigger spikes this year than last year.
You know, I'm glad you said that because I'm here at the Digital Dealer Workshop, and in a couple of conversations yesterday and even on the panel, what came up is quality relationships with vendor I think a lot of people like to use the term partners, but there's a lot of just I think pushback from vendors that, especially like in your case where you're not a website or a CRM provider. You're providing them a technology, a solution that fits in, and they have to build processes and do training around that. So What are you doing? What is Drive Motors doing? Not just to provide the technology, but to help make sure it's successful at the dealership.
You're absolutely right. So first of all, I love your description of Drive Motors as what I would call invisible middleware. I consider us the railroad, not the rail cars or the stations, so to speak. Our job is to go to a seller's website and add a transparent e-commerce layer that transforms it, but keeps that seller's brand presence front and center. We always want to be the invisible middleware. And as a result, there's actually a process associated with this, because we're not really creating a massive brand awareness, but what we are doing is changing the way the buyers and the dealerships operate. So we coach them on it. We have what I would consider to be the first and largest e-commerce consultancy for car dealerships. And in addition to giving them the tools, such as our Drive showroom product and our Drive online checkout product, we teach them how to use those tools. We teach them how to redesign or optimize the design of their existing properties, which is their showroom and their website, to make sure that they promote this new on-demand buying experience. We teach them how to add simple discounts that are within their MAP rules and give buyers the feeling they're getting a good deal, because buyers no longer need the best deal. They just need a good deal combined with massive convenience. And then, as I mentioned, last but not least, we create a whole suite of marketing materials and we teach dealerships how to use them. So we will give them the creative, we'll give them the banners and the videos, but we will also teach them where they should hook into their website and what that web page needs to say to create the continuity that drives home the message that this is really and truly an online car store. And that's what buyers are after.
So there's a lot of interaction and engagement on a, maybe not a daily basis, but at least a regular basis with your customers.
It's totally up to the dealership. We interact with some of our dealers on a daily basis. Those I would call the power users. But the reward for being a power user is you'll get 30, 40, 50 car orders a month. They will be your most profitable orders by hundreds of dollars each, and you'll get them while you're asleep. So yeah, we love working with the dealerships. It would be way less fun if this was a set it and forget it product. But e-commerce is a challenge. It is an evolution of the entire business, not just a drag and drop install of a piece of software. And that challenge is also the opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's become more and more evident in folks that I talk to when they're getting into the e-commerce, the true e-commerce realm. There's still a human element, and everybody at the dealership has to be trained specifically to accommodate the customers coming in through that funnel, because they're not customers coming in your traditional form.
It's true, but as it turns out, when you have a truly valuable and effective selling tool, the training is pretty easy, because once you show the team what they get to use, they get really excited. They lean in and they pay attention. They're very receptive. And so it really and truly is an educational experience. And boy, the salespeople that embrace the link between Drive showroom when a customer walks in the door and then Drive checkout when the salesperson can send them the checkout link while the customer's on their sofa that night, those are the salespeople that exceed their quotas on a regular basis.
So just to wrap things up, can you speak to what you alluded to with the rail and the train track? I think you used an analogy, with credit cards, just to kind of better define where you see Drive Motors as a technology provider. What is that relationship?
Simply put, Drive Motors wants to be invisible middleware that enables the customer-facing dealership, or maybe even non-dealership, just multi-million user car website, to offer an e-commerce experience. Drive Motors wants to be a transparent layer, though. We don't want customers to go to drivemotors.com to get their vehicle. We want customers to go to cardealer.com or cars.com or TrueCar or any of the well-known brands, and we want to enable them to go there and then get their vehicle. And in that sense, I think the best corporate analogy would be Visa. We want to be the transactional rails that connect the seller with the bank. Mm-hmm. And in so doing, we think we can build a really valuable company while giving buyers what they want, which is buying from a brand they already know and trust, be it the local dealer or, gosh, eBay someday. Who knows?
Are you going to be connecting to the banks anytime soon? I mean,
we already are, as a matter of fact. Without laying the entire hand on the table, what I will say is that we already offer instant decisioning with hard credit pulls, after which a buyer can literally sign on the dotted line and know they've got the financing.
Okay.
We offer that through integrations with both of the existing leading financing platforms, but we also have direct integrations with the top lenders themselves.
Okay.
And this is going to lead to a host of even better service, about which we're very excited.
Yeah, I think that turns it into true e-commerce.
And the coolest part of all of it is that it's going to be free for dealerships. We're not going to be nickel and diming them and decreasing their margins. We don't need to do that.
Okay. Well, good, Aaron. Hey, always great to see you. I really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing this with us. It's
my pleasure. It's fun to chat with you, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Well, there you go, folks. Aaron Krane, Drive Motors. Appreciate him coming on and sharing that with us. If you want to learn more, I guess get more into that conversation, I always welcome your questions and your feedback and your thoughts. I think it's easy to have folks come on and say, hey, here's some numbers or here's some ideas, but we always want to find out how people can apply it. So definitely appreciate Aaron coming on. I'm going to share my screen real quick and just wrap up today's conversation. What I want to let you know is, this show is focused on media, advertising, technology, specifically around mobility and connectivity. So autoconverse.com is a project that it's in its second generation, but for the past couple of years, it's really been focused on mobility and connectivity. Some great stuff up there. And we have now officially launched the new AutoConverse podcast. So if you're into podcasting, pull up your podcast app. I use Overcast. Just do a quick search for AutoConverse. You can also go to podcast.autoconverse and listen to them there. I have a whole slew of content in the queue ready to come out. Interviews, webinars, mini shows, you name it, all sorts of cool stuff. So definitely check that out, and please help spread the word as well. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I'm going to go ahead and call it a wrap and head back down to the Chicago Auto Show. Take care.